What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Joel's and the Raging Snail back at it again with Scarlight Squad. Today we're talking about the new ban list that's just come out.
Yes, which conveniently, if you know Mean Girls, came out on October 3rd, or is effective on October 3rd.
Correct.
Anyway, we've seen the list. We're pleased and not pleased. Are you pleased at all?
I mean, everyone's favorite cancer card is still in the game.
Yeah. So, anyway, let's get into it. The band stuff. We'll start there. Fairy Tale Snow.
I mean, it was a one-off, and then it got broken, so therefore it's ban-worthy.
It's like Unbreakable Book of Moon.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's not once per turn. So, I think it was limited in the past.
It was put to one, and it was put to one a while ago.
Yeah. So, I guess with Chaos support or other stuff just floating around, it's time for it to go. Rightfully so. Okay, Ronin Toten. Oh man, that's probably the worst card to see. I missed that little boy frog. I think he got banned because of sprites being level 2, but think about Frog Paleozoics. I mean, you played that deck
I did play that deck. I played that deck to death.
And that probably just hurts some water decks in general, I would assume.
No, it mainly hurts. I don't know whether or not they're still relevant or not. Paleozoics, if they're still relevant, it really hurts them. And then there are a few other decks that still run kind of the frog engine using Ronin Toten. So those decks would be hit, especially the ones that like using the rank 2 toolbox.
It's probably a big thing. We'll talk about that more in just a little bit.
Because of the irony that...
Yeah. Banned is also Crystron Heckler
And Needle Fiber.
Basically Needle Fiber. This card on paper was really good because it gave tuners some amazing love and support. But was it cancer? Kinda, somewhat.
I mean,
it was a good Link 2 or Link 1, whatever.
It was a Link 2.
Okay.
I mean, what? You go into you go into Needle Fiber, then you go immediately into something disgusting, and then you go from that. And I believe you can do it on your opponent's turn as well.
Yeah,
it's
incredible.
You can build a decent board state on a board on your turn, and then when your opponent tries to do something to break your board, you then just go into something to stop their answer.
If you can.
Which you most likely can if you have Needle Fiber.
Okay, also on this list, Chaos Ruler, the Chaotic Magical Dragon.
I mean, because of Chaos support.
Yeah, it's a good card. I can see that. Red Reboot. Now that's interesting. I guess to help with traps or not help with traps because it stops traps.
It stops traps. I've been out of the meta for a while, so I don't really know how back row heavy the meta is right now.
That's an interesting one. Okay, that's it for banned cards. So yeah, no Mystic Mine. It's interesting. We were just talking about this, how in the OCG they have Max C, and in the TCG we have
Mystic Mine.
Mystic Mine.
So Max C and Mystic Mine are on the same level. Although I'd say that Max C is stronger than Mystic Mine because of value.
Yeah.
So
I would much rather have Max C.
That won't stop me from still playing 2 Mystic Mines in my Grand Maju deck every time I play it.
Okay, so put to 1 is Blackwing, Steam the Cloak, nothing to see there. Cyber Jar, that's an interesting one. It is a rock monster, so you have somewhat...
They've slowly been putting Morphing Jars back into the limited format.
Right, and not just Jar, but other old school cards. So I'm glad to see that come back. It's about time Cyber Jar comes back. I think it could probably go to 3 in the future.
I mean, no, the loop. The lock.
Ooh. Yeah. Okay.
That's why it was banned in the first place.
Yeah. Alright, maybe it won. Hopefully it won. It'll be a nice meme. Mecha Phantom Beast O-Line, I guess for just tokens and just extending your board, I can see that. Now when we talked about frogs ago, the card that got put to 1 is Substitoad, which is basically like a FTK heavy hitter. Will it still be an FTK hitter?
At 1, probably not. Just because consistency and draw and getting to it.
No, I think it is a level 1.
Yeah, you can 1-for-1 it.
Yeah, so that's not bad. Okay.
The 1-for-1 is still at 1.
Spellbook of Judgment, I guess it's past its prime, probably can come back.
Well, Spellbooks are still pretty strong.
Yeah. Here's an interesting one. The last card put to 1 is a Pointer of the Red Lotus. And that card doesn't sound that great. It's basically like a Mind Crush. But if you go first and you set it, you basically get to look at your opponent's entire hand, and you get to get rid of their best card.
Yeah.
So that's some pretty good advantage.
Yeah,
Not bad.
I would run it in a Trap Sharks deck, no problem.
And it's got some nice old school artwork, so that's kind of cool, I guess. Okay, so there's nothing that was put to 2, nothing semi-limited, and now we'll just go straight into what's no longer on the list, starting with Dynamite Knight, the true Draco fighter. You used to play true Dracos. What do you have to say about that?
I mean, he was the third best true. He was the third best because you have, God, I'm blanking on their names. It's been so long since I played True Dracos. You have the one that cares about spells, then the one that cares about traps,
Right.
then the one that cares about monsters.
Was this the monster one?
No, this was the trap one. But the best one is the one that's still banned.
Right.
And True Dracos are still dead because Diagram is still at 1.
It's a good card. Okay. Psy Rachel Benten, I think that's a huge mistake. That's gonna give light decks and some Psy Rachels some love. I mean, that's great.
I mean, Benten's still a good card.
It's a great card.
It's a broken card in some aspects.
Shooting Riser Dragon, I think that just had some loops to it, nothing anymore. Fusion Destiny, just a fusion card, not too much there. Nadir Servant, I'm not too familiar with that card. I don't see any relevant parts to it. Trickstar Light Stage, that's an interesting one. I personally despise Trickstars. Draw a card, take damage, and then if you have Light Stage, take another 200. It sucks.
I just like the Reincarnation. That's the only Trickstar card I like.
That card was the card I always thought Trickstars would get banned or limited, but
nope. Light Stage.
Light Stage. And the last card, which another old school card, is Wall of Revealing Light, which is basically you pay a bunch of life, and then if your opponent can't attack over the amount of life you paid, well, then they just won't attack. Yeah, I guess it could come to 3.
Doesn't really do anything.
Doesn't really do much. I mean, it's good for stalling, so I guess stall decks like Mystic Mine.
Well, even in those decks, you just have Mystic Mine. Why would you pay life points into that when you can just have Mystic Mine and then have no one out?
Exactly.
Just draw the out.
Yeah, just draw the out, man.
Just draw it.
Just draw the out.
You'll be able to do it. It's not like I have things in my hand or on the board set that'll stop you from doing it, but you can draw that out.
Yeah, it's at 3. You can play stuff at 3 to stop it, negate
yeah,
it,
totally.
whatever. Yeah.
Just whatever you do, don't put more creatures in play. Don't play more monsters to, try and make yourself have a stronger board. Don't do that, because I won't be, and you'll just help me. So.
Well, overall, the list is interesting. I think they got some good stuff, got some bad stuff. Any conclusions you want to say to wrap this thing up?
Mystic Mine is as good as Maxi.
Well, that's going to do it. Bye-bye.
Peace.